I've had a whole bunch of questions answered, and I've over the night I was writing some things down that I was curious about, and I think it's more about the model and the idea of evolution and profitability. It seems to me that some people, straight out of as soon as they start this life, they participate in multiple realities, right? That avatar is participating in multiple realities. It seems like the player says, okay, I'm going to go to Earth School, and he gets an avatar, and by default, the avatar operates in Earth reality, and then participates in a dream reality. So he gets to learn through those two. But here, we have Tom. Tom says, oh, there's much more to it than that. It's not just those two, right? And so some people here already do it. I think most everybody here does it. Or some people are learning how to participate in a larger reality. And I thought, is that just the natural progression of quality of consciousness, or is there some sort of benefit?
Well,
some sort of profitability?
It's both of those. It is the natural progression. The natural progression as you lower entropy is also to increase the size of your picture. You know, you keep seeing bigger and bigger and bigger pictures. You find more order where otherwise there was either nothing or chaos. You know, you find more things to connect to. So that's kind of just part of the natural process. But it also, there is an advantage in the sense that every new kind of interaction that you can find is a new source of learning. So you can interact here in Earth reality, and there's certain kind of interactions here. They have to do with interactions with a lot of other people and doing particular things. And there's a lot of things just won't come up here. You know, there's lots of possibilities here, but in one lifetime lived here in this reality, there's a lot of things you won't experience very likely here in the Earth reality. Well, if you're in a dream reality, now there's a whole much broader sense sort of things you can experience. You can teleport, you can fly, you can do all kinds of amazing things. In a dream reality, things can just appear. You know, you can be one place and suddenly you're another place, or you can be in this big mansion that you've owned and has been in your family forever. And then the next thing you know, you can be poor and all alone under a bridge. And all of those things can happen even in the same night. Whereas here, it's kind of, you know, you either have a mansion or you live under the bridge, but you probably don't change that, you know, from day to day or from night to night. Things are a lot more stable here. So you go into a dream reality and all kinds of possibilities pop up. And then you go into these realities that are on a single player games with the LCS, and all sorts of things can pop up. The system can send you all manner of ways for you to interact. So all of that gives you a richer stream of choices from which you can grow, see new things, get bigger pictures. So there is an advantage. Yes, there's profitability in new experiences, in novelty, profitability in having experiences that you've never had before. So there's value to that. You know, just when people travel, you know, you have somebody that's never been more than 20 miles from where they were born, and you have somebody that spent years just traveling around and living different places. And those two people are just different. One of them we call provincial, and the other of them we call sophisticated, but those are just our words. One of them has a bigger picture than the other, just because they've seen more things, been more places. And that same thing is true as you move around within consciousness. You've been more places, seen more things, had more different kind of experiences, then you tend to be more sophisticated. Poor word, but you know what I mean. You know, you tend to just know more. You have a bigger picture, a bigger sense of things. You understand that there are more possibilities than the person who's only been here, just to this particular planet or in this particular situation that they're in now. That's why when you go through your incarnations, you're sometimes rich, sometimes poor, sometimes male, sometimes female, all different races, all different places, because that kind of diversity builds a bigger picture of what it is to be conscious, what it is to interact. So diversity is profitable.
Tiny follow-up then. Does the player, now the player says, oh, in this life at our school, the players learned how to operate in the multiverse. So then the avatar, life is done. The player at some point says, okay, it's time to go back to another school, another Earth school, so to speak. Since that player has learned how to manage or use a multi-reality avatar, does it get to have a multi-reality avatar in its next iteration? Is it just part of it? Like,
yeah, maybe.
Okay.
It could be.
I didn't know.
It could be.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's a matter of degree. Let's say you've done this. Let's say you really learned it to where you were just buzzing around all over the consciousness system, and you really had learned it's part of your being level.
Okay.
Not something you just stumbled into for a little bit of time, but something that you really had a firm grasp on. Then probably in your next life, yes, you probably will be inclined to do that again, because it is an advantage. You know, it is profitable. So you'd be inclined to do that, and you'd kind of already know some of the ropes, just intuitively kind of know some of the ropes. You wouldn't intellectually have any advantage, but you would intuitively be drawn to those kinds of things. You would realize that your dreams were just another schoolhouse, rather than, oh, that's just a stupid dream, you know, and you blow it off. You'd say, oh, what? I did something wrong in that dream. I shouldn't have acted that way. You know, you see it differently.
That's the character.
Yeah. So yes, you would, and you tend to redo it. But just because you did it once or twice doesn't mean that the next time, you know, will be the same. It kind of depends, but it is a trend that does build and does follow through from incarnation to incarnation. Yes.
Okay.